and thank you, Professor Vijay Kumar sir. It was an excellent talk, and that actually made and laid a good platform for the minimal access surgery. Uh, I bring warm regards from Academy of Minimal Access Surgical Oncology and also from Manipal Comprehensive Cancer Center. I will tell you how it started is me and Rudra contemplated that we need to write a good article on what are the modification we should do to do minimal access surgery, both laparoscopic, robotic, and we worked towards this for quite some time, and then we churned out like hundreds of paper publications read, and we wrote a very good review article actually for an international journal pertaining to this, which like sort of went for many pages. So from that particular evidence, we made this particular talk, and I reviewed the evidences as much as actually today morning. Sir has actually told everything, because why do you need to do any modification? Why can't we just jump into doing laparoscopic and robotic that we are doing? Look at this, curve. This is very important. On this side, we have a timeline, and on this side, we have a proportion of patients who are having events during convalescence period after surgery. You look at this patient who are operated who have no cancer. We know that during COVID there is 20% mortality, but there is one more add. The surgery for cancer, we need to look at it. No cancer to the people. See this? This is where we have the events. Suppose we have a cancer and it is non-metastatic, loco-regional, still see the difference. And suppose that is an advanced cancer, this is where the post-operative events we are. So this is something which is very important. The primary rule of anything in medicine is thou shall not harm. So we don't know whether we are going to make that patient totally well. We don't know we are going to give all the benefits of minimal access, but definitely we should not harm them. So this is something which is very important to know. Now, why this particular beating around the bush, minimal access surgery? Because we all know, by various important studies, minimal access has excellent benefit in terms of pain, blood loss, less infection, shorter hospital stay, quick recovery, small incision, better outcome. Should we ditch all these proved benefit because of the fear of COVID and straight away jump into doing open surgeries? So we'll now look at the evidence how it goes. I have actually read most of the paper, and I went through my presentation which I've made, and I highlighted by red color what you need to do. If you have a crowded slide, but very important message is there, and I put a reference at the end of the footer of all the slides. Now you look back, when you look at minimal access, be it robotic or laparoscopy versus open, body fluid in MIS limited exposure. We all know that we don't bathe, play with bowel fluid, peritoneal fluid, everything. But in case of open surgery, there is a continuous exposure. Cleaning of instrument. In minimal access, we have less number of instrument used, less contamination left at the end of it. But in open surgery, we have more instrument, more contamination left. Now look at aerosol generation. In MIS, the main reason SAGE is brought is more aerosolization. But remember, there is no evidence. But we have learned from other virus disease, and we have to presume when you use a carbon dioxide gas to create pneumo or in the chest or in the abdomen, there is more aerosol possibility and less in open surgery. But look at the other line. Aerosol developed in minimal access, dispersion can be limited because they are small keyhole windows you control by filters or locks. Open surgery is like whole main door open. So even though it may be less aerosol, which is actually controversial, I don't agree with that, the filtering capacity is ineffective in open surgeries. So chances of exposure here and here. Now look at the stuff. In minimal access, we can do with less stuff, but in case of open surgeries, lot of stuffs. And smoke, even though it is generated equally in both, in minimal access, it is confined, it can be filtered, but it is more in open. So it's very important. When people say about open MIS, I would say that unregulated open surgery may look attractive. Properly modified, protocolized, regulated, maybe in MIS is controllable. There are two things. Better have a evil and a demon whose strength and weakness you know and you can control, than having somebody who you don't know, friend or foe, and you can't control. That's why they always say that God, keep my friends close and enemies far away. I can manage my enemies. So it's very important to understand. My talk is on evidence of each one of them henceforth. We all know that SAGES, right from March, brought three guidelines. Initially, they told, oh, MIS may not be safe to it, but then they revised, and then they also brought another recommendation. Initially, they told, we are not sure, but it is nice to presume, please don't do minimal access surgery unless it is like the most important thing, try to do open. Initially, they brought a moratorium. Now we all know that 30th March they brought another update. Now they have brought another update. Now they say, oh, there is very little evidence that MIS should be ditched. The benefit of proven benefit of MIS should not be overlooked. Please try to see how you can do filtration. So there are three changes in SAGES recommendation, and I'll tell you why, which is very important. Now, what are the concerns with minimal access surgery? Leak from port side. Number one, nobody can control what happens to the ports. Is it going to leak through 5 mm, 8 mm if it is robotic, or if it is 10 mm? And there is aerolization, not only of this, all the blood products. And there was the sensational one case report which showed peritoneal fluid has COVID, fecal matter has COVID. So it's very important. I'm going to analyze those evidence. And then we presumed all this. That's why SAGES in April 2020 brought, and the Indian Association of Surgical Oncology upheld this. So now we look at what is this. So aerosol procedure is high. Effectivity of blood fluid, we don't know. Particle size, toxic virulent material, we don't know. It's not proved. It could be potentially might be capable of infecting everybody in the OT. Dissemination of this pneumoperitoneum, and so please don't do this. Now this was first. Now we look at what is surgical smoke and fumes. Remember, there is a gaseous byproduct when you burn the tissue, fluid, RBCs, WBCs, fluid, all this. Electrosurgical unit can develop, vessel sealer can develop, ultrasonic equipment can develop, even laser. Bone saw is highest. Whether you're doing a composite resection, take a saw and cut the mandible or a sternum or a rib, or if you're doing orthopedic procedure, ortho-onco, and the drills which you use, drill bit or anything, all of them can produce. Now, 5 minutes of running a hand-controlled diathermy, even in open surgery, can raise so much smoke particle that 60,000 to 10 lakh particles per cubic feet can be there in the OT, even though we are not able to see. Concentration level may go higher up, and it would take minimum 20 to 30 minutes of closed ventilation with high turnover to throw it off. So how does this translate? 20 to 37 unfiltered cigarette we are taking in one surgery, 150 chemicals, 2 times more inhalation. Looks scary. This is something which I picked up from an article just recently, just 8th May, it was online, not yet published. It is from the International Society of the Robotic Surgery, which was consensus. Look at this, the virus particle. The novel corona is 0.06, but we have C, HPV, B, E, and A, which are even smaller. So it's very important when we use a right smoke evacuator or AFC to understand something which doesn't address this is not going to address it. Now I have analyzed all the CO2 filtration system commercially available currently. We know that now all companies are sending, please take ours, Conmed, Ethicon, ANJ, then, Medtronic, and even RB, everybody. But look at this. The only one, there are two options, HEPA and ULPA. HEPA is only 0.3 and ULPA is the only one which is 0.01. If you go back, that is the size of corona. So you have HEPA filter based, a gas evacuator in robotic lab is not adequate. Remember, if you just use a Conmed system, it doesn't help. It is very, very important. I'll show you why. How to proceed all these points. First 2-3 part is already addressed by Professor Vijay Kumar sir, and I will tell you only confining to minimal access surgery what modification we need to do. So it's very important that you tell the patient, best thing is rather than doing travel app, contact history, you come from hotspot, you are not come, you are traveled, who are they? Insist everybody, Arogya Setu app you keep. You want a patient, you want a surgery to be done, you want to get admitted, open your Arogya Setu, you should be green status. They can't lie in that, because that is linked to your travel and the real time. Everything will be picked up. So you tell a guy, download, and then show you are in green. Now we know, even in the airlines, they have told that people who come by flight, but Arogya Setu app is green, no quarantine required. So instead of patient, everybody lies. I have a lot of patients coming by road sneaking from hotspot of Chennai, Maharashtra, telling, no, we never traveled, and then we come to know they have fever and we do a COVID. So one of the best way that they don't lie is insist, you need a surgery and admission, please do this. So we need to do this. Special consent form has to be made, like what we have made. Treatment during COVID, minimal access during COVID, and even to take swab testing. By law, it is not compulsory to insist a patient you do swab, then I'll do surgery, you can be prosecuted. So it's very important to understand, you can't deny without that. So there has to be a special voluntary consent from the patient, infectious disease clearance, swab test to be done or not, HRCT before 48 hours, you have to add antibody, ID clearance should be done, and Arogya Setu have to be done. Then scoring system based on ID, then low and high risk and to do. Sir has covered all this point well. So all this is compulsory for all the patient undergoing minimal access. Testing with IgM and IgG, I fully agree with Professor Vijay Kumar sir. When ICMR approves doing this in conjunction with HRCT and RT-PCR would take us at 95% safety. Hope we will do. Now we look at what are the modifications we need to do. Why? Even though there is no direct, any high level, forget level 1, 2A, 2B, 3, little evidence that viral transmission happens through laparoscopy, laparoscopic gas or robotic. But it needs to be done. Why? This is a famous thing about Darwin. Remember, it is not the strongest of the species who survives, not the best person, not the most intelligent, but the one who adapts. So it is not the best surgeon who survives, not the best director of a hospital, or I own a hospital myself, no, or I am very, very high in nothing. A hospital, healthcare workers who can adapt are the only one who come out flying. So now we'll see how we have to adapt in MIS during COVID. What is the reason for adaptation? I recommend everybody to please go to this AORN released guidelines. In response to COVID, it recommends evacuation of all that comes out of thorax, abdomen, minimal access. All the smoke that comes out potentially should be thought to be hazard to chemical, particles, virus, bacteria. So AORN guideline is there, and it is there. I put a reference, later you can read. So sir has already told negative pressure OT, very easy to say. When I searched in entire Manipal hospital, out of some 30, 40 negative, only one OT is negative OT. Nobody. They say negative OT is against principle of surgery. Negative causes more infection. Positive laminar flow, less infection. Now suddenly we have virus. Nobody thought COVID will come. So negative OT can't break and do, very tough unless a military comes or government forms a one COVID hospital per state. Or if you can't do this, high frequency more than 25 is something which is important. In entire Manipal complex, we had only one negative OT which was there for us. So these are the things, we can take a screenshot of it. Air change at least 20, air velocity 25 to 30 feet per minute, positive pressure of 2.5 Pascal, air halting filtration, HEPA filters minimum, and I told you it is not adequate in virus. Temperature to be kept between this area. If you want to start the AC to be started after intubation, switched off before extubation. What in minimal access, what change we do? Minimal OT people, identify which is your team, 1 hour gap, because half an hour is required to do circulation, then cleaning and everything. Avoid multiple complex procedure. Read this line, very important. Sage says, this is not time to do heroic surgeries to satisfy our egos. Doubtful oncological benefit borderline cases during this time, please don't do. Do only standardized, well-established indicator for MIS. I'll tell you. Lap rectum you are doing, please don't take T4. Oh no, I can do. Lap colon, no, I am very master. I can remove a piece of the liver with that T4 lesion. I will do subacute obstruction. I'll put a stent and do. Only do high-level minimal access, which is proved beneficial to the patient. Don't do heroic surgery. Not time to satisfy our ego. These are not the time to do that. Now, what are the preparation? It starts from the time of the start of surgery, cleaning all these things. Remember, when you do minimal access, make a list what you need. Suddenly you say, oh, I need a hook. Don't send them. Oh, I need one Vicryl. I don't have. Search yourself. Decide what you want. Keep everything in the OT. Wheel in the patient only after you are steady with everything. Intubation, extubation, don't please be there at that time and get away from that area. Filter should be attached to endotracheal tube during this time. Expiratory end circuit filter should be installed. They're easy to do. Positive pressure ventilation should be avoided during time unless it's a minimal thing which we can. So these are the general precautions we take in the OT equipment. I'm not going to go check the gas before, laparoscopic trolley ready, all the instrument to be there, and don't run, oh, suddenly gas cylinder is over. OT door opens, 5 people come in, 5 people go out, everything is aerolized, exposure to you, exposure to them. Suddenly you ask, I forgot the stapler, get me endo-GI stapler, don't do that. So safe evacuation of all the material should be done. I'll tell you how to do it. Once you place a port, then Please don't went through any port. Currently, we release from anything, assistant port, camera port, side port, no. Identify one red mark and that is the only place which comes out and collect everything. And I'll tell you how to do. Don't keep removing specimen when there is still pneumo, it's something different. Surgical drain, unless not required, please don't do it. Suture close now. We sometimes say 5 mm, I don't have to close. Try to close all the fascias at this time. This is the interest association recommendation. I'll not spend a lot of time. Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In essentially, checklist before patient comes, all suture material, stapler instruments in, anesthetist has done everything, surgical team protocolized, they follow, then safe pneumo, exit the strategy, first the team, then the cleaning, OR ready. See this, 15 minutes waiting here, 60 minutes waiting. Post this on your OT and tell how you read surgical out in minimal access is this followed. I'm not going to go to PP, there is no end. Simple triple layer with visor to P100 to end, there is no end. Follow your institute protocol. What do you think? ICMR has got a guideline. Today, I have made a very big guideline for ASI, 25-page white paper, which is circulated by ASI, how to manage surgeries during ASI. It took about a month for me to form with the president and all the people, so you can read that. There are guidelines. I'm not going to scratch. Now, what do you modify now in trocars? Port incision should be exact. Keep the cannula first, port, mark it, then place a cut. Snugly fitting so you don't leak. And if you leak, please put a suture. Avoid sudden burst of release of pneumo up and down. Trocars with one valve use are better. CO2 insufflation, try to keep to minimum. If you can do surgery at 14, minimum is 9, try to go at the lowest safe precaution. Pneumo should be at the lowest possible. Evacuation, all should be through a filtration system through one port only. Use of 5mm instrument within 8 should not be done and avoided. And if you are using a robotic, we have an habit of putting 5mm through the 8mm, don't do that. So these are the precautions you must take, and port side should be closed. Now energy devices. It's very important to understand harmonic, ligation, monopolar, bipolar, all of them theoretically use aerosolization and the virus should be there. All that it is a side gas, and how would you manage that gas coming out? Lowest power setting of energy device which you are using, which is enough. Once I started robotic, last about 2 months, did so many robotics, about 60 to 70, and all of them we kept the lowest possible setting where it is enough to work. And charring of tissue should be avoided. Minimal use and short bursts of energy device, good smoke evacuator, cold hemostasis. This is the time to put clips, ties, rather than burning sealing. This is one time we have to go back to good old time of knots and clips. Now, why do we need filter? Because remember, all of them can produce it. Even when you use HME filter, diameter more than 30 can come. If you use HEPA, it is also 0.3. Remember, virus is 0.01. So that's why ultra low, particulate air filters are required. And I'll tell you which are commercially available, what is the cost. Now, the commonest discussion among all of us, lab and robotic, we say is, oh, we just use smoke. Use air seal. Remember, air seal alone is not adequate. The same company, Cormet, brings an air seal. They also bring an evacuator. Why? I'm going to tell you why it is so. Remember, see, this is a cannula, how the air seal cannula works. One part, the filtered CO2 is pumped back into the peritoneum, keep happening. Each entry exit, there is seal happening. So, which means it maintains a good pneumo vision inside, but it doesn't 100% sure that the gas that comes out is sterilized. So, if you happen to use a Cormet air seal, then there has to be escaping gas filter to be put into that. If you don't have buffalo filters or other things, once you put this, suction should come through a double bottle underwater suction with a ULPA rated filter. Remember, you can use it. It's not very expensive. You can use from the anesthetist, connect to the exit, and then sodium hypochlorite can use. Or you can also use an intelligent integrated system if money is not a problem. Typically, 6 to 7 lakh is a machine which is commercially available currently, and they run for about 100 to 200 hours without extra disposable cost. So air seal integrated, which filter should be done? Now, if you look back, there are 3 types we have air seal integration. Air seal mode, smoke evacuation mode, standard mode. Air seal mode is not protective, only smoke evacuation mode is protective, which means you need to connect a filter to that. Either you can use a HEPA filter connected, or you can use 2 bottle like an ICD underwater sodium hypochlorite, or you connect a buffalo. But the problem with buffalo filter is it is 3.7 lakh, and after about 100 hours you have to change the filter, which is roughly about $1,000. I use it because we had it for hypec, this one, and patient has to pay the cost is a very important issue. Buffalo filter is very accurate, 99.99% whole stage of filtration of all the evacuation that comes through this special one. It has come during COVID, you can connect to this one area. This is very exciting. Rapid vac from COVID in also good. See this part. You have a cannula, you connect to the side, and through this you bring it out. And this machine is roughly around 2.8 to 3.5 lakh. You can use. You can connect to this. It's called a rapid vac, but this is the main thing which you can connect to anything, and then you can also put to this. You can purchase this. You can teach this machine, and you can do your modification. Also, Megadyne is also come, which is also very good, but it's expensive. Now IELS 3 has come. If you look at it, it's very, very safe to do, but again, they're all in the range of 6 to 7 lakh. Various are available, but the bottom line. So what I did in Manipal Hospital is I took from all of them. We took a tubing, we took the anesthetist filter, we reversed this particular area, we prepared through the cannula, and we put it through sodium hypochlorite, and that's the only place where it is let, and it comes out through that. If money is not a problem, this can be replaced by a Buffalo filter. This is there in the review article we have put, and also an article which is going to come in Springer ICGO article. This modification has been quoted, which we have done. You can easily do this. Now, once the procedure is over, or when you retrieve the specimen, how should you do the desufflation? This is very important. Port you take precaution, all filter. Most of the mistake happen while retrieving this. Specimen should be removed after all the CO2 is done. You can keep a bag, park everything there, and not with positive abdominal pressure. Drains you avoid. Hand assisted surgery port falls should be avoided. Wound protection device during this time should totally be avoided because it doesn't give a good cut. This is the time for ERAS. ERAS protocol, I mean, one of the main person along with international ERAS body. You want patient to quickly get out of hospital, less complication, less readmission, no tubes. So ERAS society has brought its own current COVID specific ERAS protocol for MIS. I'm not going to go through this. You can type this. This is the time. You can quickly send off your patient next day or other day without tubes, and readmission less complication rate less. And remember, post-surgery exit sequence is very important. The surgeon first goes off, and anesthetist, the last cleaning happens. So follow this particular area, and then tell the anesthetist that all the circuit with soda lime is removed. Reusable accessories are sterilized, 1% sodium hypochlorite, minimum 1 hour gap, because you need to put 20 to 30 minutes air circle, and then cleaning would happen. I have about 5 slides to end. I made all this presentation last week when Rudra told me you need to give a talk because we have written a review article. Suddenly, this 9 publication came last week. I was shocked. Now my whole presentation, things was changed. What is that? Society of American Gastro guideline brought for minimal access. European Association of Endoscopy published last week. Society of Robotic Surgery, SRS brought what should you do for robotic. American Society of Gynec, AHGL brought. European Society of Robotic Surgery brought. European Society. So all this. Last 5 days I sat and analyzed all of them. In 4 slides I'll give you a summary of all of them. And I recommend everybody, please read this. Society of Robotic Surgery review recommendation regarding COVID transmission in minimal access, lab and robot. Very good. I put 4 slides. It has told robotic MOT modification, conventional laparoscopy MOT modification, open MOT modification in terms of aerosol, smoke, body fluid, pressure, staff, hospital stay. Please read this. I can't go through because you can Google and read. Then they have told what should be the patient testing, OR management, anesthesia management for MIS. And what are the surgical technique, ports and extraction. I have covered these points. I'm going to give a take-home message. Management in pneumoperitoneum, what it should be. Energy device, what should be. And important to understand open surgery, none of these under control. A uncontrolled open surgery may be high risky, more aerosol, more dangerous in COVID than a controlled, protocolized minimal access for us at this moment. So aerosol management also, the guideline has come how to manage the aerosol. I told you very well, you can prepare yourself or you can use one of those commercially available. The general principles I have told you how to go about it. So in conclusion, SAGE is itself divided 3 times. Adequate modification with MIS, chance of aerosol particle and leak is less. Reliable filtering application is there, or you can make one in your hospital yourself for MIS. Shorter duration and benefit of MIS and minimal direct contact. Less people, less surrounding people, less instrument use, more easy. Potential benefit should be only for patients which are proved by clinical trial, not heroic surgery. Don't extend the indication of MIS during this time. And as a remedy, we need to minimize CO2 utilization of one of these. Remember, ULPA is the best, or what I showed is equivalent to that. Not inserting 8 mm in 12 mm, not inserting 5 mm in 12 mm through a reducer. Not recommended. Please use a new port. Inserting mesh gauze in and out during this time should be done all at the end of it. Turning CO2 insufflation off and venting the glass through the filter and then specimen extraction. So this is the recommendation which the Robotics Society and Minimal Access brought last week. There is no current evidence to demonstrate COVID is more in MIS. No clear evidence by any reference that blistering spread is there, and hence it is also risky in MIS. There remains uncertainty that outside the respiratory how it can come. Concerns regarding MIS during this side need to be addressed, but not should deny a patient, eligible patient. Alternate to MIS, open surgery can have more risk if you don't control, because the poultry, the aerosolization, people control, movement, more personnel required, cleaning of instrument, open area aerosol is tough in that. MIS is superior in a patient with benefits, so done rightly, it would really help you. And that ends my talk, and I'm happy to take question at the end in the panel. It's difficult to cover entire thing, but we welcome you to read the review article. Rudra can send you the manuscript. Thank you.